one candidate fighting for us in 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. In 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust.
Hey, this is your boy Robert Brown with B.or.B. TV, soon to be called Hardcore Politics with Robert Brown. Great week, great things happened. Some of you think they were not great, but we had over the last weekend. Not only did the FBI question Hillary Clinton, but they came out with their findings. Now, some of you don't like the findings. I don't like the findings. I think I don't know what to think. You laid out your case saying she did this. But she was so dumb, stupid, irresponsible that we really can't prosecute her. But yet if it was me standing next to somebody who have a bag of drugs, you're going to send me to jail. You're going to convict me for accessory when I don't even know this dude. You think that's justice? No, that is injustice. You think what Comey did with the report is justice? No, it was injustice. Now, I will tell you this. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Comey laid out to prove that she is not fit for prez. Oh, I can go on and on, but I don't have to tell you about it. It was laid out in a bunch of lies that came out as a result of it. Now, if the devil himself is known as the father of lies, I wonder who the mother of lies really is. That's right, you got it. Hillary Rodham Clinton. HRC, the mother of all lies. I mean, it seemed like she was born to lie. And just because she was born to lie, her career is going to die by a lie. And as a result of this,
I did not email any classified material to anyone. There is no classified material.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received.
I provided all my emails that could possibly be work-related.
Several thousand work-related emails that were not among the group of 30,000 emails returned by Secretary Clinton.
I thought using one device would be simpler.
She also used numerous mobile devices to send and to read email.
There were no security breaches.
It is possible that hostile actors gained access to Secretary Clinton's personal email account.
It was my practice to communicate with State Department and other government officials on their .gov accounts.
Hostile actors gained access to the private commercial email accounts of people with whom Secretary Clinton was in regular contact from her personal account.
No doubt that we've done exactly what we should have done.
They were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
People will be able to judge for themselves.
We cannot find a case that would support bringing criminal charges on these facts.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
To be clear, this is not to suggest that in similar circumstances, a person who engaged in this activity would face no consequences.
Americans will find that, interesting, and I look forward to having a discussion about that.
Back-to-back lies. Bam, 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 bam. That's a whole career. Back-to-back lies. Bam, 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 bam. And in the federal government, you can't stand under trial, under investigation, and pop out lies. It seemed like a lie was born in that mouth of hers. She cannot tell the truth to save her life. Now, I admit, the scripture said all of us lie. If we say we don't lie, we lie when we say we don't lie. Everybody lies, but a habitual liar. And this is what burns me about the burn man. You can get on Donald Trump about his habitual lies, but you don't talk about the habitual lies of your opponent that we have in video back to back, just like you saw. Bam, 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 lie after lie after lie after lie. Now, I'm not a fan of Trey Gowdy. I am no way, shape, form, or fashion. I can say a million things about Trey Gowdy. And how he handled the investigation with the Benghazi, pretty tough, but I got to give the man credit where credit is due. He talked to Comey, and this is what he said. And this is what Comey had to say to back it up.
Good morning, Director Comey. Secretary Clinton said she never sent or received any classified information over her private email. Was that true?
Our investigation found that there was classified information sent.
So it was not true.
Right. That's what I said.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for a little shorter answer so you and I are not here quite as long. Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails either sent or received. Was that true?
That's not true. There were a small number of portion markings on, I think, 3 of the documents.
Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true?
There was classified material emailed.
Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true?
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true?
No, we found work-related emails, thousands, that were not returned.
Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true?
That's a harder one to answer. We found traces of work-related emails on devices or in Slack space, whether they were deleted or whether when a server was changed out something happened to them. There's no doubt that there were work-related emails that were removed electronically from the email system.
Secretary Clinton said her lawyers read every one of the emails and were overly inclusive. Did her lawyers read the email content individually?
No.
Well, in the interest of time, and because I have a plane to catch tomorrow afternoon, I'm not going to go through any more of the false statements, but I am going to ask you to put on your old hat. False exculpatory statements, they are used for what?
Well, either for a substantive prosecution or for evidence of intent in a criminal prosecution.
Exactly. Intent and consciousness of guilt, right? Is that right?
Right.
Consciousness of guilt and intent. In your old job, you would prove intent, as you just referenced, by showing the jury evidence of a complex scheme that was designed for the very purpose of concealing the public record. And you would be arguing, in addition to concealment, the destruction that you and I just talked about, or certainly the failure to preserve. You would argue all of that under the heading of content. You would also be arguing the pervasiveness of the scheme, when it started, when it ended, and the number of emails, whether they were originally classified or up-classified. You would argue all of that under the heading of intent. You would also, probably under common scheme or plan, argue the burn bags of daily calendar entries or the missing daily calendar entries as a common scheme or plan to conceal. 2 days ago, Director, you said a reasonable person in her position should have known a private email was no place to send and receive classified information. You're right, an average person does know not to do that. This is no average person. This is a former First Lady, a former United States Senator, and a former Secretary of State that the President now contends is the most competent, qualified person to be president since Jefferson. He didn't say that in 2008, but he says it now. She affirmatively rejected efforts to give her a state.gov account. She kept these private emails for almost 2 years and only turned them over to Congress because we found out she had a private email account. So you have a rogue email system set up before she took the oath of office, thousands of what we now know to be classified emails, some of which were classified at the time. One of her more frequent email comrades was in fact hacked, and you don't know whether or not she was. And this scheme took place over a long period of time and resulted in the destruction of public records, and yet you say there is insufficient evidence of intent. You say she was extremely careless, but not intentionally so. You and I both know intent is really difficult to prove. Very rarely do defendants announce, on this date, I intend to break this criminal code section. Just to put everyone on notice, I am going to break the law on this date. It never happens that way. You have to do it with circumstantial evidence. Or if you're Congress and you realize how difficult it is to prove specific intent, you will formulate a statute that allows for gross negligence. My time is out, but this is really important. You mentioned there's no precedent for criminal prosecution. My fear is there still isn't. There's nothing to keep a future Secretary of State or President from this exact same email scheme or their staff. And my real fear is this. It's what the chairman touched upon. This double-track justice system that is rightly or wrongly perceived in this country. That if you are a private in the Army and you email yourself classified information, you will be kicked out. But if you are Hillary Clinton and you seek a promotion to Commander-in-Chief, you will not be. So what I hope you can do today is help the average person, the reasonable person you made reference to, the reasonable person understand why she appears to be treated differently than the rest of us would be. With that, I would yield back.
So what you're going to have in the future is trial upon trial, investigation upon investigation. Oh, some of you thought this thing was over with because the FBI say, okay, we caught her in crimes. We got all this evidence, but she just too stupid to realize what she's done. That's a signal to let you know that over and over and over again, bad judgment after bad judgment after bad judgment, incapable of running the organization. She is incapable of running. She was incapable of running the Secretary of State. She messed that up big time. And for somebody to come to me and say, oh, she is so qualified. Where? Show me. What did she do as Secretary? I can tell you what she didn't do. And I can tell you the mistakes that she made, which harmed this country. But you can't tell me one thing she's done as Secretary of State. And for me to believe, my thing is, if you can't help secure a server that you don't supposed to be in your house, which you just ignored what they told you to do about it. They told you no, no, no. And if you asked us if you wanted one, we never told you to get one. Then you got multiple devices that they told you cannot do, but yet you're going to say, kiss off, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. You can't do that in federal government. When I joined the military, when I joined the Navy, the first thing they would tell you is you do not belong to yourself. You are now property of the United States Navy, Marines, Army, Air Force. You belong to the government. You are not your own person. You can't just think you can make your own decisions. Some of the decisions you make, you better make sure it's in line with the people who you're working under. Because if it's not, you would get reprimanded and you would get your butt kicked out. What make you think that the people who served in our armed forces have to abide by that, but you can serve in a government position and you can't abide by that? You are a government agent. You work for the federal government. You can't do what you want to do. You can't pop a server in your house and say, I'm just tired of carrying all these devices and I just want to make sure. Now, I don't have to go through it. Coleman done told you saw the video. But as you can see, the mother of lies has lied all this whole time, from the time she was investigating Benghazi up to this very day. She's still lying. She was on TV lying. And the FBI caught her in those lies. And we have video footage of her lying. Pop, 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 back to back. Like you shooting off a gun. Lie after lie after lie. And yet, some of you think that a person who's a habitual liar, Donald Trump, be it Hillary Clinton, who just spews out lies out their mouth, is fit to be president. And then you get mad at a person that, like me, who would not vote for criminals, would not vote for habitual liars, and I'm going to look for the person, I don't care if he got a shot in hell or heaven, and give my vote to. My vote is valuable, precious, and worth something. And I'm not going to give it to somebody who's not worthy, who can't even protect their own house server. How in the heck you going to think you're going to protect this country? So you just saw right there, the queen of all lies, popping them off like that. But as a result of her lying like that, now she has another case opened up of perjury. The same thing that brought her husband down is the very same thing that's going to bring her down. And I say to you, as my man H.A. Goodman would say, as my bro Tim Black would say, keep burning, keep moving, stay strong, don't you quit, don't you give up, because she is not fit for president. And if you give up, you go to DC, you go to Philly, You stake your claim. You protest. You march. And you, Mr. Sanders, you stay strong. You bet not endorse Hillary Clinton. Now, I know you got to do what you got to do because of protocol of the DNC, or you're forfeited. Everybody should know that that's the game you have to play. Of course, you got to say, yeah, I will, you know. But the point is, she is the presumptive. And you got 1,900 delegates, and they can be switched. They need to know that they're making a huge risk that if they put her in the presidency under the Democratic nomination and she's convicted, it's a handoff to Donald Trump. And I've been saying it over and over and over again since I started these webcasts, that she is weak, she is flawed, her record is horrible. If you really look into it, look, I wasn't ready for Hillary, dude, until I really looked at the record. She's a flawed candidate. She lacks integrity, she lacks honesty. And the main man was sweating now. It's hot up here in New York City. And the man with the plan, so hot in here, I gotta do like the preacher do. The man with the plan is your boy Bernie Sanders. Integrity up to kazoo. Respected on both sides of the aisle. They may not like him because he's a man who don't play. He'll call you up to the carpet. Nobody likes the teacher when they're tough and rough. But they're right. Nobody likes the coach because he gets on you and make you do a bunch of push-ups and make you do them relays and make you do them laps. You know? But you love him when you get the ring. So no, the Democrats may not like him. But if they nominate him, he'll be the best thing that ever happened to him. So I'm telling you, superdelegates, if you're watching this, you still got a shot. You haven't cast your vote. The candidate that you're looking at promoting, she's a flawed candidate. You're setting her up to be convicted right after the nomination. Don't put that in the Republicans' hand. The Republicans will drag this thing out after the primaries are over, when it's just Hillary and Trump. And then the investigation will come and the perjury, and then she has to drop out, and guess who your next president? Do not gamble that. Do not. Make a strong decision. She is flawed. She is a security risk. She shouldn't even have a security clearance. And if she can't protect her own server from hackers, if she can't put herself in a position where she don't mix the emails with government email, classified email with her own personal, she don't need to be president. Now I know it hurts. I know it hurts. But she's not fit for president. And yes, she's a woman. And I appreciate my ladies out there. And I know you want a woman to be president. I do too. I think women got more brains than any of these knuckleheads today. But if I had my choice, there's another woman out there. Her name is Jill Stein. Get to know her. Of the Green Party. Now, I'm not going to support Jill. As long as Bernie is in this thing and run, I got my man back. And this is the thing about it. The Green Party is ready to make Bernie Sanders the nomination. Jill say, look, I'll step down and be his VP and let him have it. That's character. That's integrity. That's a woman who believes in the political process. That's a woman who believes in the political revolution. That's a servant leader. One who's willing to step down and let somebody else rise up. Unlike you know who. She has pretty much won her nomination and said, look, I'll step down and let him become the president, because with his character, with his boldness, with his vision, and with his fire, and with his passion, and with him giving us something to vote for instead of something against, I'll step down and become VP, and I'll let him become the president. I wish that this person in this party, who is flawed in character, in duty, and in purpose with the DNC, I wish she would do the same thing. But in my book, she's narcissistic, she's egotistical, she's an opportunist, and all she cares about is herself than the country, in my book. Because Hillary Clinton, if you cared about yourself, knowing what's going on right now, you'd have stepped down a long time ago. I know you want this bad. I know this is your lifelong dream. I know you put up with a bunch of crap with Bill Clinton to get to this point. But baby, let me take the glasses off. Which one, who's more important? You or the American people? I love you, baby. I pray for you every day. I understand what you go through. But the American people is more important than your party. And DNC, David Wasserman shows on down. Your people, your constituents who voted you in, they become before your party. And the moment you put that party before them, you may find yourself without a job. So watch yourself, as my man would say, from mystical say. Watch yourself. So anyway, my name is Robert Brown. I had to send this quick little video out. Hillary Clinton, the mother of all lies. She can't tell the truth if her life depends on it. If she say hello, it's a lie. If she say bye, it's a lie. Everything just lies, 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 lies. And why would we want that type of person as the president of the United States? I want somebody truthful, honest, integrity, guts, grill, and the ability to inspire the entire nation. And that is Bernie Sanders. I'm Robert Brown. I'm burning a bus all day, every day. The mustache looking hot. It's hot. And it's about to get hot. Again, super delegates. Again, delegates. You need to put your pot in the right man. He's still in this thing. He ain't going nowhere. You need to vote for him. If not, this Trump win will be on your hands. And with this mess that's going on, and more to come, he will win. He will win. And I'm not going to support you in beating him when you're just in the wrong as he is. And I think this is a setup, but that's another video. I'm Robert Brown. Burning a bus, BOB-TV, baby, hardcore politics with Robert Brown. It's Friday night. And last but not least, my black brothers, I'm praying for you. Few of us are knuckleheads, just have no respect for authority. But most of us are decent men that try to love our families, try to take care of our families. And to deal with the boys in blue. Not all cops are bad. We got some genuine good cops out here that really care about the community. I almost became a cop. And I almost became a cop because they cared about the community. Until they ran me and had me on the wall with a knee to my neck, accusing me of a crime that I didn't commit. I saw a broken window in downtown Suffolk, Virginia. Broken. I called the police, and guess who was the #1 suspect? Me. Go figure. And it killed my desire to become a police. And sometimes I wish I would still went on to be a cop. Nothing wrong with being a cop. Nothing wrong with being a police officer. Good benefits. Good money. But make sure you're in it for the people in your community and not for yourself. And cops around other cops, reprimand your boy when they get out of hand. Come on, you can't put up with that. Don't join them. Stop them when they start to do wrong. And yes, Bernie Sanders have a platform to deal with just this issue, but most of y'all don't even know what it's all about. But go to BernieSanders.com and go to Bernie Sanders for President, and you'll see the platform. He have in him a will and a purpose to develop a commission to be part of his cabinet to deal with things like that. Nobody else does. Not even a bum. So, be careful out there, guys. It is real out there. And for some reason, we are a threat when we're some of the biggest loving men in the entire world. We lovers of our family, we lovers of other people, and we care about our hood. So don't let them fool you. We're not thugs. We're not thugs. We're smart, bright, and intelligent. And don't nobody tell you anything different. But in the meantime, be careful out there. Be careful, be mindful, be watchful. And be humble. Peace.
There's only one candidate fighting for us in 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. In 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. In 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Political assassin smashing. What time for some action?